meeting, so next meeting it will have them on. So solid.
Oh, that's fine.
I feel like we need music or something to liven this up a little bit.
Glad there was a break in the rain to take those pictures. It was
I
pouring,
can't
like, for
believe
days.
it never let up. I
No,
can't
until
believe you,
Saturday. It finally lit up Saturday for a few hours.
then you
Yeah,
hit the road.
right
Hey,
out
Lonnie.
If others are coming, they might be late because the parking lot is jammed.
Yes.
Oh,
Because
There
people
you
are voting. They're
Yeah.
dropping off their votes after
thank
work.
goodness.
Good problem.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I couldn't get in the parking lot. I had to go all the way around the back of the building.
It wasn't by the line. Line up.
Quite a line.
Love your jacket.
Thank you.
Hi, Louis, Sylvie, Daryl. Sounds like you were wise to zoom in.
Thank you.
So welcome, everyone. We'll start the meeting. Emily can't be here tonight, so I'll run the meeting. Did Earl say, I never did get a hold of him? I know
He cannot come
he
tonight.
can't. Okay.
But no Earl.
Okay. Welcome. We, well, first of all, I'll ask for an approval of the meeting minutes from October 7th and our special meeting, October 28th.
Special meeting's not.
Okay, just for the 7th. If someone would like to make a motion to approve those, that would be great.
So moved.
Thank you, Daryl. Second. Thank you, Shauna. So I am.
Daryl, it was me.
It was Lua.
Oh, hi, Laura. Thank you. I'm thrilled that we have 2 new Arts Commission members, 3 new. Our 3rd one is coming. Nancy and Dawn are here today. And very, very excited to have you. Congratulations. I know you observed the last meeting, but you didn't have a chance to actually introduce yourselves. So we would love for you to introduce yourselves and say whatever you'd like us to know about you. Yeah.
Oh, I'm Nancy Cameron. Hi, everybody. I've been a resident of Lakewood for about 7 years now. I grew up South Seattle, kind of the Burien area, and then I worked on the east side for a long time, so kind of bounced around a lot. Met a guy, moved here. It feels like home now, more so than any other place. So for work, I am a kitchen and bath designer. I do have a degree in interior design as well. So I get to be creative every day, not quite like the fine arts, but it is still definitely something that I'm interested in. So that's kind of the basics of me. So awesome. Yeah.
Thanks, Nancy.
Sure.
Got some bathrooms and a kitchen.
I was thinking the same
Sure. I'm not in sales anymore, so. But I can hook you up for sure.
Yeah, it's who you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And Dawn, please introduce yourself.
Okay, I'm Don, and I'm an old man, and I've done art for now since I was at UPS a long time ago before I met my wife. And after I met my wife, we got married and no longer was at UPS.
You mean you were teaching or an art
I
student
was
there?
an art student.
Okay.
And but from there on, I've always thought about it, stayed doing it, and somehow or other was either involved or loved to go to look at it. I'm still do
Welcome. Welcome. And Dawn has show and tell for us later. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So, I was for Nancy and Dawn's sake too, if we could all go around and also just say one highlight of Halloween.
That's probably me first. I'm Lonnie, and I have been on the Arts Commission for a very, very long time. I don't really know how many years back that goes. 6, 7, 8, somewhere in there.
6 years, 11 months.
6 years, 11 months, almost 7. So
Thank you.
it's a fun
Keep
group
that
to
pulled
work
up.
with. Yeah. Halloween, it was raining a lot, and I don't have kids at home anymore, but I made the solid effort to go find a neighborhood with my dog and just walk around the neighborhood because I wanted to see all the littles in their costumes. I'm dedicated.
Yeah. So I'm Sally. I've been with the city 9 years and I mostly do the events and I facilitate this commission and then the MLK committee. So Halloween, my interesting discovery on Halloween was, well, my husband and I went out because we don't have kids anymore, like, and no one ever comes to our house. And the dog, we put in a doggy door so the dog can get in and out. Okay, Kula's there watching over everything. And when we come home from dinner, there's a pack of kids at the front door. As we pull down the driveway, Kula's nowhere to be seen. I walk in the house and Kula's like stretching. I'm like, Kula, you're supposed to be the watchdog. What's going on? So we don't have a good watchdog there. But we had two packs of kids come, which was fun.
Did you have candy? Were you?
Oh, I had candy.
Okay, there you
I
go.
had candy.
Nice. So I'm Shauna. I've been on the Arts Commission for 1 year now. Highlight of Halloween was I dressed up as Sherlock, did my pumpkin and match. I was so excited for neighborhood children, but nobody showed up.
Oh no!
I had gift bags ready and lined up. Always get kids. I was so sad.
The
You
weather
come
was-
over.
Oh my
Yeah,
It
gosh.
was raining. It was.
I was
The
ready
weather
for
was
them.
bad.
That's so
Yeah.
cute. Too. You went to
So
such a good.
cute.
It was
effort.
terrible. I was so sad.
Okay, I'm still done. And I've loved Halloween for ages and ages. And just like you, we had one family stop in and we gave them a whole bunch. We gave them all of the chocolate.
Take it all.
And so that was fun. But other than that, it was, I think there was the third or fourth image in there. And we decided that would make a good Halloween story. And so that did really well. We got a nice comment from the editor and stuff. So we like that. But Halloween, still enjoy it. I'll get my candy too.
My name is Laura and I've been on the Art Commission about a year. And I love Halloween and dressing up, but you know, when the kids are grown, it's not quite the same. And so for years, we always just had the lights out and, you know, no trick-or-treaters. But a family next door moved in with kids and they weren't the ones who came over, but somebody drove down the street and saw that we had lights and decorations and stopped by. And we gave them a lot of candy and we had drug out our box of Halloween decorations. And so we had masks and stuff. And it turned out to be kind of scary costumes that we had. Were kind of fun. And then, yeah, one set of trick-or-treaters and then that was it. And then we had leftover candy that we got to eat ourselves. Yeah. Reese's pumpkins.
Can you also share about your skill set in art and what you do with your photography and everything?
So I'm a retired nurse. I was a nurse for 40 years, but always loved photography and got a degree in art and photography at the same time. And then had a portrait studio where I did hand color tinting, black and whites, mostly children portraiture, because that's the nurse. I was a pediatric nurse. And then got into nature work. And so this last few years, just doing a lot of nature work. And I just got back from my trip to the Galapagos, which was amazing. And I don't know, I think one of my favorite was the iguanas there, the marine iguanas, the land iguanas, and a bunch of other things. So I was going to show a few images at the retreat and tell you a little bit about some of the stuff there. So,
And so also Laura did a reception here. I was one of the rotating artists and was selected for her signal boxes. And hers are raccoons.
yes, cute little raccoons. And it's on off of Stellacom and is it Gravelly Lake? So it's on Gravelly Lake.
Bradley Lake and, yeah.
Stellacom on the corner. And there's it's just some baby raccoons there.
Thank you.
Hi, my name's Nevaeh. I'm a member of the youth council and a senior at Harrison Pratt. My highlight from Halloween is probably just going trick-or-treating with my friend.
What do you dress up as?
I was Max from the Goofy movie.
Yay.
Hello, I'm Bentley. I'm also a member of the youth council and I'm a junior at Harrison Prep, and a freshman at Pierce College. And my family always dresses up with our family friends for Halloween. It's like a whole tradition. And this year we were the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And I was Susan, one of the 4 kids. Yeah, we went to Tacoma in our old neighborhood to go trick or treating.
Oh, wow, that's fun.
Oh, that's a great tradition.
I'm Valeria. I'm also a member of youth council. I'm a junior at Harrison Prep and then a freshman at Pierce College. My family doesn't celebrate Halloween, so I kind of just left it on thing.
I'm Nikki. I'm the office assistant for the Parks Department. I've been here for about 7 years. And we kind of do all kinds of things throughout the month of October. Halloween's kind of a holiday. So we went to Scarywood at the beginning of the month. And that's in Idaho, Silverwood Theme Park. That was really cool. We did a lot of haunted houses. We don't get any trick-or-treaters in our neighborhood. So we went to a play at Tacoma Little Theater.
What play?
It was Agatha Christie's Mousetrap.
Nice.
Sold out.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
All right, to the Zoomers.
Sylvia, you want to go first? Or do you want me to?
Go for it, Daryl.
Okay. Okay. I'm Daryl. Nice to meet the new commissioner, art commission members. I am an instructor at Clover Park Technical College. I'm actually in my classroom right now, and I've been on the commission for 6+ years, and I'm just recently beginning another go around, another 3 years, and happy to be here. Trick or treat. I didn't do a costume. The neighborhood has changed dramatically from what I remember. Not as many trick-or-treaters, but it seems like the trunk or treat has been kind of the new norm now, and I think I'm enjoying that quite a bit. So that's where I fit in on the old scheme of things. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you say what kind of instructor you are?
Oh, I teach graphics. The program at Clover Park is called Graphic Design Technology. Art and music are kind of my intersections, and I do the graphic design portion of it. So Adobe, Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, although Illustrator and InDesign are my favorite go-to applications. I enjoy them all.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
You do any video production?
That's not my lane, but the sister program, Digital Entertainment and Design, does a lot of that also. So they use After Effects and Premiere, as well as some of the more traditional Adobe applications as well. So that would be the program to look to. Do you have anything in mind that I might shine their way for you, Don?
I did a year of it when I was at Clover Park.
Were you in the media design program, or were you in the digital design program?
This was brand new. And so I got to learn how to direct, how to use cameras, how to do audio, and enjoyed it the entire year. And I had a friend that he had did the radio part. And if I didn't have anything to do, I'd go over there and we would just go back and forth. He would interview me as various people.
Louis,
We enjoyed
Really
it.
cool. Not many people remember the old radio program. We sold it to WSU as an NPR station now. But yeah, we had a full-fledged radio program back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, I believe. So yeah.
That historical Phil isn't here.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'd have some great.
He would have
details.
told you all of that, yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Thank you.
Lua, would you like to give a little brief on who you are and your Halloween highlight?
Lua Pritchard, Executive Director of Asia Pacific Cultural Center. I've been a commission here. Only Sally knows. I don't remember. But my Halloween, so the past 5 years, our church has been doing trunk or treats. So we had over 200 kids from the neighborhood, which was really good. We had more neighborhood kids at our church for trunk or treat than our own kids. So that was pretty cool because they want to be safe. But there was a lot of candy, a lot of soup, chicken soup, a lot of great stuff. Because my husband and I, you know, all our kids are grown up and they have their own kids, and so they come over to the church now just to be safe and all. So it was wonderful. I love it because I didn't have to do anything. To
Thank you.
enjoy.
Thank you. And Lou's been serving over 4 years, so thank you. All right, Sylvie.
Hi, I'm Sylvia Estrella, and I've been on the Arts Commission. How long, Nikki? I think 4 years, 3 years.
3 years, 7 months. Oh,
How long?
3 years, 7 months.
Okay, 3 years, 7 months. And I am media production. My business is Blue Scooter Media. I do video production, graphic design, and photography. And I had the privilege of producing the MLK videos for several years, and I'm enjoying Arts Commission. And my highlight for Halloween was, Nikki, can I share my screen?
Should be able to.
It's not letting me.
All right. Yes, you can. Make you a co-host. How about that?
What?
You have to lead the rest of the meeting now.
I know it's not letting me share the screen, so I'll just show you on video. Or there, you can kind of see it. It's my little squid on a great baby grand piano. He's 4 years old now, and he loves Halloween, everything Halloween. And he chose to be a baby squid, or a giant squid. Sorry, don't call him a baby. Giant squid, because he's into marine life.
That's fun. That's amazing you found that costume, or did you have to make it?
Did you make it?
Heck no. My costume making days are over.
Yeah.
His mom found it on Amazon.
Cute. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so we will move on to an agenda item which is the retreat reminder. So this Friday, we have a retreat noon to about 5:30 at the pavilion at Fort Steilacoom Park. Does everyone know where that is, how to get there? It's within Fort Steilacoom Park. We can send a map out. And please arrive on time. It is beginning with Asia Pacific Cultural Center's cooking demo, which Lua so graciously offered. They'll be cooking a recipe, and the staff will be there doing that, showing us how to make it, and then
We're doing Korean dumplings.
Oh my God, thank you.
Steamed.
Lua, you're making me hungry.
So you will all be taught how to do it.
Oh my God, those are my favorite. Yeah.
You have to make your own.
Okay, okay, we'll do a trial run at our next meeting and see how many people can. It'll be like the
Yeah.
chili, it'll be the dumpling cook-off,
Dumpling cook-off.
Arts Commission dumpling cook-off.
It'll be lots
But
of fun.
thank you, Lua. You always step up with amazing food and
It'll
and
be
you're so
lots of
generous.
fun. And then we'll also bring 2 or 3 more dishes for you guys to eat.
Thank you. So again, just please be there at noon. We have a lot of fun things to do. And this week, starting today on, if you haven't, hi,
Sorry, I'm so late.
welcome. You're Ali?
I'm 80.
80.
Adrian.
80, Adrian. So Adrian is another new member. 3 Arts Commission members were approved. We just did introductions and do you want to just quickly introduce yourself?
Sure,
And
yeah, so sorry, I was coming from an appointment I couldn't adjust. My name's Adi Kleckner. I've lived here when did I move here? 2016 in Lakewood, so I teach at Pierce College as an English faculty member and humanities faculty member, so. Excited to be here.
okay, do you have any highlights from Halloween? We all went around and said a highlight.
Oh, yeah, well, I have 2 kids, so we went.
fun.
How old are they?
I have a 2-year-old and a 7-year-old.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so we're like peak. training time, so, yeah, so we
Their
made it.
costumes?
Well, my 2-year-old refused. She has never, of course she did, right? So she wore, I think her favorite pajamas was what we went up in. And my oldest was Rapunzel.
Oh,
So thanks and welcome.
Thank you. Sorry.
Really glad to have you. We were just going over the retreat at Fort Stolken Park at the pavilion. So right now, this week, super important, please put your photos together. Everyone, for our social time, everyone's gonna have a chance to show photos from a trip or a staycation or just, time in nature somewhere where you get to relax, think outside the box, and maybe, how it brings out the creativity into you. You can somehow weave it into the theme of art, but basically just kind of a highlight trip that you took with your family or yourself. And you can put, maybe 10 photos together in a PowerPoint, shoot it to us, or you can bring it on a thumb drive, but it's nice if you can send it to us in advance. Then we don't have to spend time trying to queue it up. Any questions on that? Okay. And it's just a way for us to get to know each other outside of work and just like what inspires you when you travel, what's on your bucket list and where you chose to go this year.
It doesn't have to be a PowerPoint though, right? You could just
Or just
do
photos,
show and
yeah.
tell or
How you mean like bring the
Yeah.
photos and hold them up?
something.
Or
I don't know.
just have them on a thumb drive and they can show them.
Yeah. I mean, you can bring a thumb drive, but if you, yes,
You send it ahead.
but if
of
you
time.
can send it ahead of time, that's ideal.
I'm just thinking if somebody was
I
like,
know.
oh, I got this cool drum and they just want to bring in the.
Yes, and so that, thank you, Lonnie. So if you have like a cape or drum or some cool item you got, right, you can also bring that, all right, or a piece of artwork, that you got on the trip, you can bring that. Okay, and then the second thing is, you should be able.
coming.
Oh, hi, Susan.
Hello.
So I don't know if,
Lua, you're not muted. There you go. So, and then the second thing is you should be collecting things for the assemblage workshop. So we have bought frames. We are hiring an instructor to spend a couple hours with us creating an assemblage, which is like a 3D art piece. And you bring stuff from home. She'll also have stuff, but feathers, stones, rocks. Laura, you probably have some good ideas. I went through this weekend and just pulled so many dice, marbles, anything you've got, just throw them all in a bag and bring them, photos. And then we'll create art from those. You can be thinking of a theme ahead of time around travel or family or whatever you want, or you can kind of do it spontaneously there.
It's like a 3D collage.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You can have
So you can bring magazines, you can bring material.
Mhm.
And so be sure and bring that with you. And then lastly, potluck. So Lua is providing a lot of the food, but we'll want to supplement. There is no pressure. Okay, if you work and are coming straight from work and you don't have time to cook, don't worry about it. Otherwise, I'm sending this around and you can write in what you want to bring. Or you can put, I'll get back to you, TBD. I think that's it for the retreat. Okay, I do want to say we also hired a guest speaker. Thank you, Susan, recommended a wonderful person who will talk to us for the last portion. About we had one question that was raised as how to deal with like art that's political or sensitive subjects in public art, and how to come to a consensus of the group. So she'll be speaking to those. Okay. Council member Patty Bell will be there. She just got back from her trip to Antigua. And now we're going to move on to our 2025 work plan. So every year we have our work plan, which is basically our goals for 2025 and what we want to do, what we want to implement. So it's attached. I wanted to start talking about it now because we'll want to submit this to City Council in January. So if everyone just turns to that last page, you'll see Arts Commission 2025 work plan and our meeting schedule. So we'll continue to meet the first Monday of the month at 5 p.m. And so this is a dialogue, but I'll just read through what is on our work plan. And then this is the time to really give input. And as you remember, every year we meet with City Council, and we go over these accomplishments. So we really want to put down the things that we know we can accomplish and get done in the year. And it's fun. It's like, okay, this is what we get to do. So the first thing is public art installations. And what we're going to focus on is murals and signal boxes, which we've been doing for the last 2 years. And then the second thing is continuing our quarterly rotating art displays and art receptions, which I'd also like to go over today. The continuing education of the board. So the commission, we have guest speakers come in. So I think that's really important to stay well trained, and we would continue to do that. We'll have a retreat. And then the Arts Commission participates in special events, which we'll go back through. But some of them include like the MLK event, which is coming up January 11th. Everyone should have that on their calendar. The street festival, summer concerts, and so on. Because these are art forms. Performing art is an art form, right? And for instance, at Summerfest, we have an international stage and 14 different countries. And Lua works with the sister cities on this, but we usually have 14 different countries represented, and they do dance and very amazing cultural presentations. And the same is true of our Fiesta de la Familia. So all day long we have entertainment from Latin American countries. 6 is recruitment and retention. And I really want to make 2 points on this. And again, this is up for discussion, but with recruitment and retention, I know personally what I'd like to see, and I'd like to hear from everyone, but we only have a few slots available, or we may need to wait until someone exits out and then a slot becomes available. But I believe we need people of more cultures on our commission. Okay, that really represent the Lakewood community, and people who are actually artists, who have worked in public art, who've worked with cities, who've responded to calls to art, who are sculptors, who really know public art from the ground up by being an artist. I feel like that's our weak link right now. We just don't have that. We have digital art, we've got film, we've got photography, but we don't have anyone who's been a public artist. Besides Laura now with the signal boxes, but I think that would be invaluable. And we'll discuss that afterwards, but I wanted to throw that out because it's just something I keep in my head, and it's always top of mind for me when I meet people. Oh, would they be a good fit for the Arts Commission? But everyone around this table should be thinking that, because that's the best way we can recruit, is to be proactive instead of waiting for people just to come and apply. Be really intentional and proactive. And then the last thing is public art for capital improvement. This is something new, and my supervisor, Mary Dodsworth, and Stacy, who works on capital improvements, have several projects, and they're looking to do art, have public art at the projects. One is the barn, one of the barns at Fort Silicon Park, which is going to be called the Prairie Village Mural, but they're going to be working with the Nisqually tribe. I know, Dawn, you asked about that. So they're going to work with the Nisqually tribe first on that and approach them to have their artists develop something. But for us, another project's American Lake Park. I don't know if it's on American Lake, it's off Veterans Drive. And they're going to be putting in 5 trash bays that will have a big, like 3 foot tall and a very long silver casing, which can be wrapped. So it would probably be one piece that would stretch across the front and the sides.
Wait, Sally, could you
Yes.
could you go back? Because I don't know if I heard that right. So for the barn, we're going to work with Nisqually tribe to put up some art there. And
Well, Mary Dodsworth has been working with them for many years, and she's working with them right now on like a Nisqually Trail loop that goes right by this barn off to the across from the pavilion and down. And so it's part of that trail, and they're an integral part of that because it talks about where the tribe went through as part of the part of their pilgrimage each year, that they would go through there and they would harvest berries. And so they are doing a couple pieces of art at the park, and this would be one.
well, that will be awesome.
If they have a suitable artist.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of would get first right of refusal, so to speak.
Okay. Well, that would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. Mary's done an amazing job working with them. The American Lake Park, it's going to be a piece that surrounds the 5 trash bins. And then Ward's Lake Park is another location. And so there's some utility boxes there that they'd like wrapped. I'll be finding out more information, but probably around spring is when we'll get to do the estimates and select the artists. But we can be keeping that in mind. I mean, imagine American Lake Park and Ward's Lake Park, they'll want some nature theme, water theme. So we can be thinking about that. All right, so that is our work plan. Does anyone have any thoughts about something they feel is missing? And if you turn the page, you can see the events we work on. I left it quite vague. I didn't say the number of murals. I didn't say the number of signal boxes. We did talk a lot about, and in our public art plan, this was kind of the year to start doing plinths and rotating sculptures. I think I've been intimidated by the time it's going to take to do that on my own, not knowing that much about it. Earl did do a lot of research. But I have no experience in it. I don't know that anyone here does. Susan, you may have some experience with it. But I just need to know how people feel about that. If we want to put it off a year. People feel really strongly that we need it. Sorry, you're muted, Susan.
the only thing I'm thinking is it's fairly expensive. You know, we would have to have funds to do it. Mhm.
So we'll have about $30,000 to work with next year in totality.
Yeah. Yeah. All I'm saying is once you get into 3D sculpture and lighting and all of that, it mounts up quickly.
Yeah. Do you have experience with the plinths? Can you tell us anything about what you know other than the cost?
Well, the cost, I just know from installing artwork and sculpture in museums, and
Right.
even in interior spaces, it's very expensive. And the lighting has to be just right. So, you know, 30,000 sounds like a lot of money, but it can go pretty quickly on 2 or 3 plinths gone.
Yeah. So for those who are new, the idea is that you know, I think the plinth mold is something that exists, and you put them in locations where you want to have this rotating art. Let's say you could start with 2, and then it has a place to connect the art. And the idea is that we don't have to pay the artist because they're getting to display their art for free. And I don't know how long they usually display it, maybe 6 months or a year. But they usually are paid a stipend. And then it rotates to, you know, the next piece. So it's a way for us to have public art, for artists to display their art, but still they have to hook it up. I don't know if they need how they connect it. You know, if it's on an island, I don't know. Do they have to shut the street down? Like there's a lot of logistics.
We have to insure the art.
That's a great question.
Sorry, what was that?
Sorry, I asked if we had to insure the art as well.
Yes, we would have to insure the art. And also, I know it's very easy to say we would not have to pay the artists because they get to have their work displayed. But that is also becoming a bit suspect in the art community. They feel that they need to be paid as professionals.
Yeah, so from what I understood, like the city of Olympia is doing this and they do pay them a stipend.
Yeah, it'd just be interesting to know how much they did pay them, and I'm sure we would be talking then about emerging artists, which even I just throw this out, then it becomes even a little bit more suspect because we are working with an emerging artist who needs to be paid till they can develop their art. You know? So it's, you know.
I like this word suspect. It's because I bet you could throw that out at the city council meeting. It's becoming very
Well, you know, the artist has to survive too, you know.
Well, maybe it's a year we could do more in-depth research, have a subcommittee that's interested, really passionate. I guess that's the thing. I want to make sure that everyone around the table is equally as passionate about this, that we've really got that foundation of passion for doing it, so that we're all in. So maybe we have a subcommittee that demonstrates, yes, we have enough people that will meet and do more research on this.
And I think, you know, having a conversation with the art community will be really important because when we go forth on this, we want them to be supporting us. Yes. You know.
That's a good idea. What would that look like?
I think we well, there's any number of artists that we could ask to come to an advisory session. We could do that individually or as a group. You know that if we're not paying, well, the budget is going to be a big deal because that's going to dictate who we can work with or not work with.
Right. And how many plants we do
Yeah,
start. And the
yeah,
location, yeah.
location and, you know, we had a brush at one of the committees. I know we had talked, Preston Singletary has come up. You know, there's no way we could ask an artist of that stature to do something for nothing, because they've got big museums exhibiting their work. It's just expectations within budget.
And permits, okay.
Permits, yes, insurance. And some insurance, well, never mind, I won't say that, never mind.
Is it suspect?
It's suspect. The insurance no, don't say it, no, never mind.
Thank you, Susan. Remember, this is a recorded meeting. Thank
Yes.
you. Okay, that feels good. Does that sit well with everyone to have a subcommittee? Develop a solid plan for, okay, 2026 possibly. Okay, and then I just wanted to circle back on the recruitment and retention and what my points were, increasing the cultural diversity of the group and bringing in actual artists who have done public art. How does everyone else feel about that? And are there other qualities we're looking for to round out the commission to be the best we can be?
Are we looking for people within the Lakewood community or outside of Lakewood?
There's nothing that says they have to be in the Lakewood community. I think it's important that they have a strong pulse on the Lakewood community. But that doesn't mean living in Lakewood.
Okay.
But I mean, we can decide.
The one caveat I would send out about having artists on the commission is then you can't award them a commission. Because it'll look like a conflict of interest.
You know, I was thinking that because Rodney was saying he's now on the Tacoma Arts Commission, and I know he's worked with them a lot. I wonder if that's
Well, as long as it was in the past and not.
okay.
Yeah, well, he's currently serving, yeah.
Yeah, no, doesn't look good.
Okay. Thank you, Susan. Any other feedback? Because we all will want our eyes and ears open and be on the same page, like when we're really looking for people. Like I tend to do this at events or even the farmer's market. When I'm around a lot of people, I'm always thinking, oh, would they make a good fit for the Arts Commission? Would they make a good fit? And but I want to be able to go, oh, these are the three things we're really looking for, you know, in a person. So and we should all have that top of mind. So anything else besides being an artist? And I don't mean that for everyone, but right now I just feel like that's a weak link, that we really don't have anyone that can contribute when we're like, okay, what, you know, when we're talking about a mural and the cost and where they can go, oh, this would be a typical cost for that, or this would be a typical, you know, way that you'd have them submit 3 concepts and then pay a stipend, you know, narrow it down to 2 people, just kind of processes and procedures that they know from working with other cities, I think would be incredibly insightful.
Yes, it would.
Any feedback, anybody?
I have a clarifying question.
Yeah.
As someone who's new. So you mentioned continuing education, right? So that would be for us as the board. Is there a way that we could open that up to the public as well? As a way for, like, do we pay people who come to speak to the board?
So we do, and it's usually at a meeting, so that's streamed live. All our meetings are streamed live, so anyone could watch it.
Yeah, I guess I'm thinking of ways that we could involve the community more in these kinds of conversations too.
Oh, I
right?
like that.
But there are a lot of people who may not be aware, like who are potentially practicing artists that we have no idea about. You know,
I love that idea.
so, yeah. So maybe advertise that. I don't know what that looks like, but
Uh-huh.
making those more.
Okay. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Daryl.
Oh, thank you, Sally. I was wondering, for the Public Art Subcommittee a few years back when we were vetting potential artists for the sculpture at the Colonial Center, I'm wondering if we could revet some of the candidates that we looked at during that process before ultimately choosing John Fleming. Is that something that?
For the to be board members or commission members?
No, for new sculptures.
Yes, we can. There is definitely no law that says we can't go back and consider artists who weren't selected. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's something that I think we could give serious consideration. There were a lot of really good, strong candidates that we took a look at, and Earl could probably go into a little bit better detail than I did. But some of them had some very strong proposals and had somewhat ties to the city and Pierce County in general. So I think that would be a possibility.
Yeah, I love that idea, Daryl.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, the next thing, we're going to talk about the quarterly rotating art, and Dawn has some show and tell. But first, I just want to jump ahead very quickly to the next thing on the agenda, because this could take a little while. And that is our mural selection. So at our last special meeting, a vote was done, and Perico, the artist, was the winner. The score was 8-4, and one person abstained. And so the next step is to brief city council. So I've created that memo. I did go back and I transcribed his talk, Perico's talk, where he talked about the symbolism. It was very eloquent and very important as we roll out the art for people to understand the symbolism and metaphor that he used. So I have that. I included it in the city council briefing. I talked to Patty Bell today, so she's aware. She's very excited. And she will be at our retreat. We have done the paperwork for Perico, so he can get an advance of $5,000 and get his $250 stipend. So he can get the materials, get an assistant, and work his hardest to get it done by January 11th, which we're not holding him strictly to, but he would like to try to make that happen. Wow. So that's well on its way. So thank you, everyone, for voting, for being here, being part of that process, and working through some of the tension or not that was there. It was really well executed in the end. Any questions on that? Okay. And then we're going to go back to the quarterly rotating artists. I know it seems far off, but I really want to select the artist for the rotating art for 2025, so the artist knows they can plan for it. We have Rodney King, first quarter, presenting here. His reception's January 13th. Please put that on your calendar, because we also have a spoken word artist, an African-American woman who's going to read 4 pieces of poetry, and she's going to create an original one as well for Beloved Community, since that's our theme for MLK, the MLK ceremony. And it's going to be about 20 minutes, and she's not inexpensive. I'd like your feedback on when to schedule her in. The reception's from 5 to 7. My suggestion to her was to not spread it out, because people trickle in and out. And if we can just say, there's a really amazing spoken word artist here from, 6:30 to 6:50, then they'll come for that. But and the city council meeting's at 7, so That's why we do them on Monday nights, so city council members can be there. Does anyone have any thoughts about what time we should have her start?
6 o'clock.
Six, I was thinking six.
6 o'clock.
Yeah, 6 o'clock.
Okay.
I think that gives time for folks who are coming after work to get here.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of I don't know, we have a kind of a good crescendo, I feel like, around that time.
Do we have the name?
Yes, it's a tricky name. She didn't even say it. She's like, I'll just text you. So I have the link to her site, so I will share that. How about that? Yeah. And she was recommended by a member of the MLK committee, Amari, who works for the Clover Park School District. We tried to get Christian Page, who I had, I don't know, maybe 6 years ago, and now he's just too popular. I think he's like $15,000 or something.
Wow.
So he wasn't even an option. So it was fun to know that we got him, and he was here in the lobby, and the youth council was there, and they were so impressed. He's so impressive. Okay, so we'll look at 6 o'clock for that. Okay, so that's first quarter. And then I was not here for the last reception for the Pierce College students, but Lonnie said it was probably our busiest, most successful art show.
Yeah.
It was a combination of this campus and the Puyallup campus. And I guess the parents came and had flowers and
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, both campuses combined. So I only met professors that are from the Stolicum campus, but apparently some of the other faculty from Puyallup came too. And wow, I mean, these students, it was just great. I mean, some of these students, this is the first time they've ever even created some kind of piece of artwork. So they just had one piece. Some of the students had multiple pieces. All of them were super appreciative to have their work shown in a public format. I mean, so there was so much excitement and energy about their pieces are hung on the wall and in a public display for other people to see. So in my opinion, we had somewhere between 150 and 200 people over the course of the evening. It's like 45 artists who are currently hung in City Hall right now. So, so they came, if they came with a couple of people, yeah, it was great. It was really excellent. And the professors from Pierce, when I spoke with them, talked about, even though this is kind of early in the school year, so again, some of these students maybe only have the time to put one piece together. They felt like the timing of it was good because it's kind of kicking off this, the school year, getting their projects done, and it's not in conflict. So like early in, like February, March, April, they're getting pieces ready for graduation, and there's some other juried types of shows that they're encouraged to participate in, and there's just too many conflicts if it goes later on in the year. So I think the colleges are very excited about potentially doing this again next year and just continuing to build on having our
That's a great idea.
City Hall
So-
showcase this. Yeah.
Thanks, Lonnie. So I think we're getting at that idea of doing an annual student art show in the fall. And if we do that, and I know that highlighting student art has just been a priority of our Arts Commission, they've been on the signal boxes and so on. So that would be fourth quarter. And we did that.
Can I add something into that? Since it's going to be student art, can we include Clover Park Tech? Because there's artists there as well. Can we add them into it to do, since they are part of Lakewood as well?
You're with Pierce College. Do you have a sense of?
I think the art department would be open to that. I don't think they're would be offended by it.
Yeah.
I think that they
The only thing is there room?
Well,
I guess you just
Yeah, I
say,
think we
hey,
should-
you can have X
Is
number.
that, I don't know if Clover Park, do they have, do you know, do they have an art department? Like, is there a person that we could talk to directly? I'm sure they have.
Well, Daryl's in connection with graphic designers who also do art. And then there's also the media production. But just on campus itself, there's artists and I've seen them there, and the student union is pretty strong and they know about the artists that are there. So
Totally. Yeah, I think I'm thinking about like the logistics of hanging the show, like who will bring the work together and put it on the walls. And so like
That is important, because David does that. Yeah, there were two people that did
yeah.
all of that. They collected it, they brought it here.
Mhm.
So I love your idea, but we would just have to make sure there is that coordinating person.
mhm.
or if not, find somebody to become that person. You know, like I think that doesn't mean that it doesn't happen, but we just maybe try to see who that is.
Mhm.
And maybe Daryl, you know who that person is.
Well, thank you for that. We've actually kind of planted the seeds just recently. We had Mauricio Robolino come and do a not so much a presentation, but a participation. So Clover Park has kind of planted the seeds for wanting to do more with the arts. So you just never know. And I would be happy to be part of that.
Thank you, Daryl. If you could find the lead person, maybe it's you,
Thank you.
or that would,
For sure.
There's a lot of room here. I think we could make it happen.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
And,
can
and Sylvie,
Wall
Sylvie, thank you for the idea.
Yeah, we got space.
Okay, great.
And then, thank you. So then that leaves two spaces open. I just thought of something else we definitely need. So that leaves spring and summer. And so Dawn recommended 3 people and Sylvie recommended an artist. So Nikki will show us images and we'll see if we want to include them or not. This is Sylvie's artist recommendation. Do you want to tell us a little bit? Sylvie, walk us through a little bit. You're muted.
So Daryl and I met Carlos Lagos on the Tacoma Studio Art Walk, and he was amazing. His whole townhouse is full of huge pieces of art, small and large, and he's kind of an impressionist artist. The colors are so vibrant. It was like really amazing being in his whole place is just filled with all of his art, and he's such a lovely man. He was in the military, and then he was an art student, and I think he has a master's degree or something in art. And he was also he went to the Cordon Bleu, and so he has the top thing in that, and just he has quite a bit of a story. So I loved his art. It was just so vibrant and provoking. So
Did you sense that he had a lot of constituents who he could invite to come? I mean, this is a big part of the receptions, right? Is that the artist brings the people.
Right.
I think so. Don't
Yeah,
you?
he's been art in Seattle. He's had shows in Seattle and I think Tacoma too, but he said he would be open to it. He would love it. So
And his studio's in Tacoma.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just throwing this out to people who are no. The other thing we've done is split up the room so it's a shared space between 2 artists. And sometimes that brings more people too. Thank you, Sylvie. Are you guys best friends?
Yeah, we are now. Yeah. And in fact, he invited me over for cafe for lattes and biscotti.
you
You're
are.
along again too.
Can I step in here? If Earl was here, he would back me up on this. Sylvie has a penchant for acquiring best friends almost immediately. So yeah, I would. I definitely think
we'll just hang on your coattails, Sylvie.
she does have that touch.
Yeah, she does. Who wouldn't like Sylvie? Okay. This is Dr. Johnny Wow recommended by Dawn. So Don is going to tell us about Johnny Wow.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot to talk about with Dr. Johnny Wow. He calls himself the Seattle face thief. And what he used to do is go out and walk a dog. And as he walked the dog, he would watch people and then stop at like a coffee shop and so forth. And he would do his sketches right there. And then take the sketches back home and then make them bigger and make them more, I guess, well, kind of like that. So he just stick figures. Got somebody that was actually a teacher that he didn't like. However, it's interesting when he goes and puts them all together. And like this is one that I really enjoyed, and it's one of his best for individual names, so forth. And he lives in north of here now. He doesn't live in Seattle anymore. And he's getting up in the years, but he's still content. And I thought you might like to see other images. And I looked in my studio and found that I had like 3 12-inch tall pieces of canvas that he had done. And so I opened one up, and when I saw the penis, I said, probably they don't want to see it. And so I skipped on that one.
Thank you. You're so smart.
But this one is, I think he's got like 4 different facial. And these aren't bad.
Funny, hold it. Oh, sorry. Yeah, hold it up.
On camera to be able to see it.
Thank you.
If I'm gonna get too close to the camera here.
Oh, that's nice. Look at that.
So these are on a like a black fabric that's been painted black. Then
I have a nitro.
I think it's chalk.
I'm right behind you.
Thanks, Lonnie. That's great.
Those are nice.
Sorry that
Oh,
it's reflecting a little bit.
oh.
And that's a very nice one, and it's got the wordage on the front of the theaters and so forth. These are women that the looks of them, so forth.
Very nice.
Well, you could just show your collection. You need Dr. Wow, and we've got Dawn.
Kind of see the scale of it compared to me.
Yeah, look at that.
One
Look at
more.
those faces. Nice, yeah.
Susan, do you know
Faces
Dr.
are
Johnny Wow?
I don't know him personally, but I have heard about him. Thank you.
Sorry, I'm trying to get it so the lighting kind of catches it right for you.
Actually, Johnny Wow is a fantastic person to talk to. He grew up in Alaska, and this was like in the early 40s. And his father owned a bar, and so he only served white people, except if you came to the back door. Then if you were Eskimo or whatever, he'd serve you there. And so it was always kind of, funny like that back then. But he grew up seeing all of that, and then seeing all of the leftover material from the Second World War. And so he played in that and with his buddies and had a great time. And there was one area where they saw a woman being just looking strange, like she had been hurt. And so I told all of this to my cousin, who was a teacher in Detroit, and they put together a nice image of just simple chairs like this, and the women and the one guy, and put together a fantastic piece that I think won an award or two. So it depends on, you think, oh my God. But if you take some of that, you can really put something together with it.
Okay. Thank you so much. So in the interest of time, you can.
Oh,
go
I
on.
just want to show.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, for sure.
He brought a big book. And I'll just flip through, so they're labeled with the folks' names, so this is a sketch of Warren. Becky. Oh, that one's not done yet, it doesn't have his name. Alexander. I just want to give you a taste of what's in this book here. Marjorie, I think, or Marybelle, Maybelle. Did everybody kind of see that okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. I think that's good.
Quite a variety.
And then there was a third artist, right? So we've got one more. I'll be sure and get you out by 6:15. But we want to be thinking about these artists as possibilities, and in the next meeting, I'd like, if you have any other artists, and Susan, you really know so many artists, to please come, so we have a wide variety to choose from, but
Would you like to see the podium?
is that the next artist? Yes. So we're going on to Ron Pulliam, who Don recommended. Yes, you can show your.
And Ron is, he started doing art, when he got out of Vietnam. I think he went to, PLU, and he lives about, half a mile from PLU, just off of Sixth Avenue. And so this is one of his pieces. And what's interesting about it is that, this is worth about $500. This is a really good piece. However, another organization I belong to is making money on various things and whatever. And they chose not to use this one. They used somebody else's piece that actually was worth about $50 maybe. And they used that. And so I couldn't let Ron know that this didn't get involved. And so I've been putting off inviting him to dinner when I could bring him over and show him, and we got this one.
Yeah.
But Ron does a fantastic job. His wife is also an artist. And they have a place up north as well. And so they go up there and do a lot of images off the water and so forth. And then they also go down south to past Portland, whatever. So you have a lot of roads and mountains and clouds and everything. So it's a nice.
Do you want to scroll through any?
Pass this around, you can get a nice look to everybody.
Where
Nice guy.
does he live? Does he live close to Tacoma? Is he from Tacoma?
Yeah, he's in Tacoma, just off Sixth Avenue.
Yes.
There you go, Lenny. That's pretty.
Sorry, we're not signed in, so it's gonna give us.
We can try to
Susan,
look him up
Can
at
you-
home.
you
Can
have
you send us the links for these artists?
You can send up.
Ron has all
here's
kinds
one.
on
That's great.
the photos and stuff.
Oh, there you go.
Beautiful.
He does cat too.
Yeah, look at that.
Any feedback? Susan?
I think what's interesting is all three of these artists are so different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have one more to show you. One of my favorites. I did it.
I would just like to have the links so we can just kind of study them and look at them at our leisure. I think that would be really good.
I would also like to recommend high school student art submissions.
Oh, okay.
I think that'd be great to support the school district.
Yeah. Do you have any contact? I know we were trying to do that
We
for
tried
the
to do that
Fiesta de la
before.
Familia, and it was really difficult.
I can take part of that and reaching out to the district to see who the high school art teachers are that do the selections, because I know that they do them for other platforms, for the county, for the hospitals. I know firsthand that they do that, so.
Well, they do one for St. Clair, and I always wondered, should we just have that art rotate here? The same art? I mean, there's no point in duplicating.
Right, it's very well framed. My daughter was featured at St. Clair, so
Okay.
that's how I know.
But I don't know what they do after with it. Do they sell it?
They-
Do they keep
They
it?
give it to the student.
Okay, so it could potentially be shown
Mhm.
here.
Absolutely.
I don't know how St. Clair would feel about that because it's so close, but. Do you want to look into that?
Yeah, I can look
Okay.
at high school.
So,
That's a
if you
great
can make a note of that, Nikki, that Shauna will look into the high school art.
I have
Potentially.
another suggestion.
Okay.
I have another suggestion. How many artists are on this commission? Susan, I think you do art, right? I know that Daryl does and Laura does, and I think some of our new members do.
Lonnie, Adriana.
Lonnie, Adriana. What about doing one of the quarters for the artists on the Arts Commission and have it be a meet your commission?
No. No.
Why, Susan?
Again, I think it's suspect because we shouldn't be taking the spots of artists, and we're with commission, and it starts blurring the line. But
Even though there's no monetary
Oh, it's
value.
to showcase the Lakewood Art Commission.
Well, we have showcased Sylvie and we've
Yeah.
showcased you and we've showcased.
Nobody else.
yeah, well,
That's
count me out. I'm not. I'm not doing that. But go right ahead. Whatever.
It's just a thought because the community, I think it would be nice for the community to know who's selecting their art for one, but also there's some great talents right on the commission.
Yes, but how do you differentiate? Then you're creating a difference between the artists and the other professionals on the committee. So I don't know. I think we need to look into that a little more.
Fair.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts, like Lonnie, Daryl, since you're the artist, what do you think? You'd be the ones showing, so. They'll be shown, we wouldn't do that
Depends
twice.
on how, I suppose, Sally, it depends on what council perceives.
This wouldn't go to city, this is a Arts Commission decision.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, again,
Never run through council at all then, huh?
What do you mean by that?
Would council have a say in whether or not Susan's concerns are justified in terms of, commission promoting itself?
mhm.
No, that's something that we would decide around this table.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and artists have few opportunities to exhibit, and here we are proposing to put ourselves out there.
Well,
Just
for the community to know us, though, I think that's the good objective.
I agree with Susan. I think that our job is to foster and support other artists. I think that there could be other ways though that we could
Yeah.
do. We could do like a meet and greet
Yeah, that's
to do something where we would get to know people. But I think I have equal concerns that we would be taking an opportunity away from another artist to say their work, who's not here at the table. to support themselves.
We are so blessed to have such a rich and deep art community in this region. I mean, there's so many artists that we could be looking at for these opportunities.
And could we do a more formal call, like for artists to put their names forward rather than just us recommending that? Would that be an option?
Anything's an option, yeah.
So that more folks could potentially find out about this opportunity?
Yeah, we've done that before.
Yeah, I don't, yeah, so
Yes.
did it work well, or was it?
Yeah, it's just a lot. It ends
Lot
up
of
being a
work.
lot
Yeah.
to,
Put out there.
Yeah.
but it's very valid. And, you know, we really want, it's really important at this stage, we're in a stage where people don't know about it still. It only gets traction if the artist themselves has a big following. That's who comes, the people that know the artists. And so that's an important, now maybe if it gets really popular, then we can have more obscure artists or people that have never shown, but they're doing some great work. But right now we really need to equally focus on the reach and the constituents that they have that they can bring to the event.
Is the art here, is it insured? I'll keep asking the question. I don't know.
The student art from
Or,
Pierce
yeah.
College, no.
Okay, I guess, because
We have them sign a little liability thing that says we're not responsible if anything happens to their art.
we could also like do like a jury art show where people could submit work and we could select, so we could have a variety of artists, which would then draw a variety of crowds with a cash prize awarded to winners.
We could do that. That would be a whole event
It would
and a
be,
lot of work, and that would be like for
Not this year.
2026 a work plan.
Next
But
year.
I
Yeah.
love that because if that is something the Arts Commission wants to do.
That's what we did at Central Latino. You know, the big Latino was a juried show.
And we do that at Fiesta de la Familia. So we are doing that. We could grow that piece, you know, capitalize on what we're doing there and grow that. You know, I think it's a good time to do that because we've had the same artists there. I don't think we can have the same artists there every single year. People just be like, I've seen your art. I feel like we're a little bit at that point. You know, we've had the same 10 artists each year.
Yeah, I think that's true.
And so
Luckily this year we had new artists. which
a
was
few,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we might really think about that now, actually.
I think that's a good idea. Just some new Latino artists come in.
You might connect with regular play areas too. Center Stage up in Federal Way. They allow artists to come in and hang their pictures and stuff on the walls. And then they don't charge any money for it. And if they make sales, that's good for the artist.
Oh,
So
that's
that could
nice.
easily be done with a couple places around.
So sorry, we've gone over. I like to be mindful of the time and people's schedules. So thank you so much. There's still time. Please submit any artists, art that you think we should consider for our next meeting in December. And the name of the spoken word artist, I forgot that she texted me. It's okay. Shadeja Wilson Dunham. SHAIDAJA Wilson Dunham. And she has a website. We can send you the link. Let's send the link, Nikki, when we send everything else.
Daryl has his hand raised. Hi,
Daryl.
Oh, I think I left that up there. No, I did not. I forgot to take it off. I'm done on my end. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. So we'll see everyone this Friday at noon. If you haven't signed up for a potluck item, please look at the shared Google Doc I sent out, or sign up right here, or shoot me a text. No pressure. Again, no pressure. We'll backfill on any food that's not provided. If you have a favorite dish, you're welcome to bring it.
Will you update that on the Google Doc?
I will.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.